Now, Shawn Michaels is brought out. I forgot that Miz wasn't even on SmackDown. I was like, oh, of course he's here. Why wouldn't he be? But he's here because of the show, of course.
Yeah.
Dolph Ziggler then comes out, and Dolph Ziggler cuts what I think is one of his best promos in a long time.
Yeah.
A lot of it was rooted in realism and truth. He said, Shawn, you broke my heart last November. I used to look up to you, and your performance at Crown Jewel was embarrassing. And I was like, damn, they went there. And to be honest with you, the thing is, Shawn Michaels was the best performer in that match. But it was a bad match.
Yeah.
Michaels says that he will admit that it's embarrassing, but it's not as embarrassing as working your entire career and still being known as a second-rate Shawn Michaels wannabe ripoff. Gah!
Yeah.
Damn, that was a line.
That was fatality, flawless victory. That's what that was.
He pulled Dolph Ziggler's spine out through his ass, Alex.
Yeah, that was the death blow right there. The fact that they continued doing stuff after that was like, no. Dolph, there's like that was it. That was it. Like Dolph could have thrown the punch right then because he had nothing. Because what he said afterwards wasn't nearly as good as Michael's jab. Like it wasn't nearly as good.
So Ziggler ends up hitting The Miz, then cracks Shawn Michaels with a big super kick.
Man,
now
that bump looked sick. Too.
Now here's the thing, Alex. I don't give a shit about Ziggler that much, but all of a sudden, this promo and being in the ring with Shawn Michaels, I cared about Dolph Ziggler. I did. And I was like, you know what? Wouldn't hate to see it. And then I think back and I'm like, you know how they talk about Andre the Giant as an attraction? If Shawn Michaels wrestled, it's an attraction. Right. It's not because it's not like Triple H. We see him 4 or 5 times a year and he goes away. It's not like The Undertaker. We see him a couple times a year. We've seen him once in like 8 years.
Have they announced the next edition of Sands of Time?
They have not, but you know what? If they did this match, wouldn't hate it.
If they did HBK versus Ziggler there, like I feel like there might be building to eventually that. Because it's weird to like have HBK take the bump, like take that super kick if they're not building to something between the two of them. But if they're just going to do Miz versus Ziggler again, it seems kind of a waste.
But I mean, remember when they had Michael show up and super kick Daniel Bryan and there was nothing? There was no plan. There was.
I know. Yeah, they do this. They do this kind of stuff. But I mean,
I thought this angle was excellent, Alex.
Yeah, it was. Overall, it was. I also loved that Ziggler just kept, yelling and being pissy. And Miz stepped in and was like, do something. Stop talking and do something. I loved his line where it should have been me. It should have been me. In this company, you make it you. That was really good, too. Like, Miz was on fire. Miz, listen, I mean, we forget, like, how he set the world on fire with that Daniel Bryan promo 3 years ago. Like, he still got that in him whenever he wants to bring it out. And, like that was a 10. This was like a 7.5 of where he could go if you wanted to like really lay into Ziggler. I mean, if you're gonna refresh that old chestnut of a feud, fine, because I feel like these guys can handle it, they can carry it off. But the thing they really sold me a ticket to somehow is 95-year-old HBK versus his grandson, Dolph Ziggler. I think that could be really interesting. Somehow they've made me think that. And I know it probably won't be.
Yeah, I mean, I could think of a lot worse matches that they could put on in Saudi Arabia's Blood Money Bash at the Beheading, whatever the hell they're going to call the shit. But
that's what we're going to call it.
Yeah.